Greetings, friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Del Puckett here, and today we are at the fretting station. This is a little jig we got here. I've done many videos on this thing here. This is a Chicago Electric Mighty Mite from Harbor Freight. I don't know if they make them anymore. And then a jeweler's blade. This is kind of hard to come by. This one here was a gift, and I can see it's starting to get dull. I just adjust it so that the little tip just sticks out just enough for the fret slot. The key right here is this rail right here. It's got to be nice and straight right here. And all I do is just hold this thing down on the appropriate fret. Line it here. From where I'm at here, I got a little target here that I just line up. And from here on out, it's just repetitive motion. That was pretty fast. I'll let you see it in slow-mo. And then when it's all said and done, you're left with a perfectly slotted fretboard per the template. And all you got to do is peel it apart, take off the sticky tape, stain it, sand it, glue it, whatever. You got to resist the temptation to use these things here. Maybe if you use real fine kind of sandpaper, but if you use any kind of coarse sandpaper, it just leaves these tiny little circles in whatever you're sanding. So after you sand with these things, you got to resand with paper. So I just use paper to begin with. But here's a little cheat. So get yourself some good sandpaper and kind of fold it up 2-3 times, whatever, just to kind of get it a little bit thicker, and then set it here on the edge of your workbench, just over the edge right here. And then I just rub it that way. I can actually get more pressure on it by pushing down than I can by pushing it by going it like this with a sandpaper. You know, there's to be a time when you're going to be doing it like this, obviously, but for the most part, since these are all flat surfaces anyway, man, you could just get at it just like that, man. And if you need a flat surface, you know that this is a flat surface, so you're going against a flat surface. And here is another hack that I don't recommend. Do as I say, not as I do. Have you ever had to deal with unfortunate event of your neck has a slight bow? Yeah, so number one, obviously we don't want to use bent wood, especially for our necks. We want to use straight wood. There's techniques that you can use to ensure that your wood is nice and straight. So I recommend, first of all, getting a nice piece of straight wood, or making it straight if it's not straight. In the unfortunate circumstance when you do have a beautiful piece of wood, oh my gosh, there's no way I can't use this wood, and it's got a slight bow in it, what do you do? Depending on the bow, depending on how bad it is. Okay, so this is a beautiful piece of curly maple. This is like beautiful wood. Same thing with the heel. Okay. So unfortunately, unfortunately, there's a tiny, I don't know if you can see it or not. You can maybe see there's a little bit of a curve. So I made sure to put the curve this way rather than this way. Okay, so this way here, maybe you can see there's, again, this is slight. Am I nitpicking? Probably. If this was going to be a fretless guitar, I wouldn't worry about it. But if I'm going to be putting frets on it, I want this plane here, which is the plane that the fretboard is going to go on, to be as flat as possible. So I check, double check, triple check. You know, I obsess, and you know, you can even get a block and sand it smooth. Whatever your technique is, a planer, a joiner, whatever. You got to get this. You got to get it straight. You know, and you got to be honest, man. You got to get the ruler out and double check. You know. So I guess I could go back and sand this flat if I wanted to. Okay, now here's the hack. Now again, I don't recommend this. Whatever you do, don't do this. Okay, because if you do this, then you're breaking the rules. You're cutting corners. You're lessening the quality, etc. All that good stuff. So all I'm going to do is fill in this little gap here with glue. And then I'm only going to tighten it from here, dink, and here. And why is that? Because this fretboard is absolutely perfectly straight. So the fretboard, and I double checked it, you know, I lined it up and everything. So if I put the fretboard on here and I don't like squeeze it in the middle, if I squeeze it in the middle, then I'm hosed, right? Because I'm following the contour of underneath. But if I just, like I said, fill it in with glue, I can fill it in with wood putty and stuff like that, but I've tried that in the past, and it's good. I mean, it's good enough just to fill it in with glue. You're going to have a little bit of a line right here. Obviously, we're going to keep it clean, but we're going to go back. This guitar is going to be dark stained anyway. And so, again, we can cover up the fact that there'll be a little tiny little gap here. It's going to be super strong. You know, this is not by any means lessening the quality, the strength of the neck at all, because it's really in the wood. So again, like I said, do as I say, not as I do. Don't do what I do, because what I do is not what you should be doing. You should be doing what you're supposed to be doing, and don't judge me for doing what I'm doing. I got you on that one. Just kidding. Let's get this party started. All the glue is dropping down. So yeah, there's a lot of glue. Looks like icing on a cake. Now that it's been wiped smooth, we're gonna just let it dry. And here's another hack. This one's actually pretty easy. You know, sometimes you're dealing with boxes that are really thick sidewalls. Like this one here, I think it came in at 3/8, a 32nd over 3/8. And also, if you want to do millimeters, it's almost exactly 10 millimeters. So that's how thick it is on just the sidewall. The top alone, it's an MDF top, you can tell there, but it is super thick. Because I know, because I drilled out these. You can actually see kind of how thick this is. You can see the top of this guy here. And if you know how thin these guys are, they're not too thin, but that's how thick the top wall is. So whenever you're dealing with thick walled, you'll probably want to go with a magnetic pickup and not so much on a piezo, because it's been my experience that the thicker walled guitars actually make better sounding electric guitars. So anyhow, so this is the hack. So we got to get through this thick sidewall with a skinny little jack. Barely fits. Look at that. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to thin this out. So I do is I just get one of these guys. Some people call them Fosner, some people call them Forstner. You're falling asleep. You're falling asleep. I need to learn how to sharpen these things here. Anyhow, so you give it about half the distance that you want or whatever with this guy. And then you get your normal bit that you're going to use for the thickness of the shaft of this thing here. And then you go through, and then from the inside, poke your jack through this way and see if you got enough threads on this side. If you got enough threads, good. If you don't, you just give it just something a little bit more. Now, you got to be careful. You definitely don't want to go too far because then you've ruined all your wood. So you want to find that Goldilocks zone, that sweet spot, so that you have just enough threads to grab there and have it be good, strong grabbage. Grabbage! While we're waiting for the glue to dry on the neck and on these little sound hole grommet covers, I wanted to show you another hack. Do you ever jam in like that and your pick goes flying? It's because it's all slippery when wet. Well, another thing I do is just get the old sandpaper, like I said, get some rough, real low grit sandpaper. This one here. Look at that, brand new. This is 80 grit. Use whatever you got, dude. I'm just saying 80 grit because this is the rough stuff here. And then you just take your pick and you rough it up, man. Just give it a good. Give it something. Something. And now, oh yeah. I can already tell already. So it's got some grip to it now. So try some sandpaper on your pick. All right, one more hack and I'll do you a little ditty. You guys remember these wall hanger things? Well, just get your favorite hammer and your favorite anvil, flatten those suckers flat, and then you can bend them to be whatever shape you want them to be, right? So I just bend them here as a wraparound here for the string catch. And of course I use the small little tuner screws here that you use for the back of the tuners right there. So I use it as a string catch, and then of course a wall hanger. So you can just drive a nail into the wall and use that as your hanger. So you just find your nearest hardwood wall and ta-da! Now we have ventilators on the ground and ventilators on the wall. You guys remember that classic hit from the 70s, War? Lowrider. It's fun to do on a 3-string because it's tuned to G, right? And of course the iconic bass line. That's just 2 notes here, doo-doo. Then you walk it up. That's the open 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Then you can do this lick here on the middle string, or you can do whatever you want right there. So that's like the bass line. Then you have the chords, which is just like the root chord, G, down to F. And I just kind of do, let this note be in the ring out in the bass line. You gotta stomp your foot. Everything about this song is iconic, the little lick. That's just on the high string, you're on the 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, middle string, 5th fret. Then you come back up. You just got to use your, that's such a powerful melody, you just use your ear. Then the other iconic lick. That's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. You put them all together, right? Oh, then obviously if you have like a beat, what do you call it? Drum box. With a dead battery. So what happens when you use these cheap batteries? And you can hear them dying. Change the batteries again, hang on. Man, it was getting so hot in here with that fire. I had to take my jacket off. Now that we got the batteries changed, I went ahead and dialed up a beat that was similar in tempo. And I dialed up a nasty tone. So now you just put all the parts together. Chords. The iconic click. The other iconic click. Dare to sing. The low rider knows every street, yeah. The low rider, he's the one in me. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip. Put a chord on that guy right there. Yeah, you just mix and match and tear it up. Okay, guys, it's getting late. The fire's going out. I'm tired. That's it for this video. Hope you learned something. Hope you're inspired. Hope you're a cigar boss guitar enthusiast. All right, that's it, guys. See you in the next video. Cheers.